All right. So we are talking about issue.
Can't hear you anymore.
Oh, you're muted?
No, okay. I can hear you now. Yeah.
All right. We are talking about issue 59232, which is introducing the storage counter at group level for package feature. So what I'm curious to know here, obviously, like, we'll need front end and we'll need UX here. So
yes.
I'm going to work with product to figure out like UX, like what needs to be done there and so on. So that's going to take some time. And front end, I have someone in mind already, but I need to check their availability. And that pretty much depends on how fast we can get the back end done. So it might not necessarily be necessary to do it right away. My question for you, though, is if we are building something like this, we all, like you and I already know that we need to kind of put a framework in place, and package is going to be the first part of our code base that is using it. But we will kind of need to think a bit about how can we make this not generic, but able to accommodate all the other things that we are going to be adding, right?
Sure.
My question to you is, I know that we had a number of these things in the statistics.
Project statistics.
Project statistics, right. But this is now group. So this is a group level. Do we go to the same concept and have a group statistics and in the same way that it's created for project? Or do we figure out something completely different?
Okay. At group level, I'm quite sure we have some SQL queries with some coalescence operator that can sum up the overall result for a group.
Okay.
So I think that this could be a good idea to keep the granularity at the project level, because maybe you want to know which is the biggest offender, because you have the limits at group level, but you want to know where you have to act for.
Right.
Because, so if more detailed data we have, the easier we can group them and gather information at group level. But if we store them at group level, then
right. Like basically, you're saying that we should still be focused on the project level. That will be our single source of truth, and the limits part is going to come from the group rather than the project.
Exactly.
Right.
I'm thinking about extending the project statistics, because I already have a lot of helpers in place for incrementing stuff. I think that we should just add columns there, other kind of statistics, and then we can build
the group.
The group thing as a separate class or in the namespace. I don't know. I will think about this. So we can leverage limits at group level based on the result that we have on single project. This is my idea.
No, that makes quite a lot of sense, because if we think about what else we are going to be including there, we're going to be including artifacts. We are going to be including somehow registry images. We're going to be including, we're already including LFS. We're already including Git storage, right?
Sure.
So it completely makes sense to just group it together. All right. And for that,
the only thing, just let me tell you this. If we are going to add also attachments to this later on, because right now we don't have a way to delete them, but we will be it's still something like grow space. And for that case, we have attachment at group level, and it's the only weird thing, because it's for the epics. Epics are group level thing, and you can add attachment to epics. So this breaks the simple rule. We can think about this later on, but just
that makes sense. I mean, but there is no reason for us why we wouldn't be able to just say that even on the project level we are counting attachments. Like that doesn't break that basic rule. Like the basic rule is that in projects we still have all of these items counted. The only difference is going to be on the group level. All of a sudden we are going to have like project dots uploads plus.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Okay, which is probably what's going to happen for a lot of these things, by the way, now that I'm thinking of it. Yes, we do not have group level attachment artifacts yet. We don't have group level packages.
Packages, yeah.
Yet. That's...
Yeah, okay, yeah, you say, yeah, but if you think about this, all the APIs that we have in place for this are based on the project. I don't know.
Yes. Yeah, I know.
Yet. It's the right word, yet.
Yet is important here. All right. Okay, so can you tell me, for this specific thing, we'll probably have to create separate issues for the smaller chunks here. I think our main issue needs to become introducing storage counter.
Yeah, sure.
Yes, that's the one I linked you. So 59232. So that one needs to become the main issue, and you need to start creating like smaller items, like defining the work you want to go and do for the what we discussed on the project level. And let's think about scheduling that for right now, as in like as soon as you finish the ongoing item that you have, and you have free time, you can start working on that. That does not need any front end. That does not need any UX, right?
Right.
In the meantime, I'm going to start attacking UX to see what they say about the group level, how do they envision this to be presented, and so on. So while you're actually developing and we ship this, we can already have the UX defined. And I think, depending on how fast we get that help, I can then ask front end, like I can schedule front end for maybe next release to have this presented, depending on how fast this lands.
Okay, we are still considering only counting stuff, not enforcing any limit at any kind of limit.
For now, like we need to think about not excluding any decisions that we need to make later on. But for now, I think the main focus, very short term, is count things. And as soon as the UX is there, count on the group level.
Yeah,
and
sure.
In parallel, it's going to be another discussion on, all right, now that we are actually counting this, and now that we actually have it presented, which limit, right?
Yeah,
what is the limit that we need?
So so I need to do the package counting and the backfill also, because we already have packages. So in the very first step is adding count and backfill. Okay.
Yep, absolutely. Then we will, I'll have to discuss this with product on which limits are we going to be taking, because this is going to be complicated if we have a project limit of 10 gigs that counts everything in, but then on the group level, we enforce it from some different limit. It's going to be like, oh, wait, is it a group limit of 10 gigs or a project one?
Yeah. My own vision on this is that the settings that we have at the moment are okay for certain cases, but for the .com, we want to allow owners to lower and only lower the limits based on the upper limits they have, so that an admin instance can set you the group limit as the, let's say, what you paid for. So you paid for 10 gigs total, or 100 gigs total. So you got that limit in there. And so you as a group owner can set a smaller limit on the things that you create to make sure that you are not hitting too much space.
Right.
The overall stuff is still at the group level. So your namespace cannot exceed the overall name. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so basically on GitLab.com, I mean, this is not only GitLab.com. This is very much useful for every self-managed installation as well. Because me as a admin of the instance, I want to say that all groups can have a maximum of 100 gigs, for example, allowed. And they cannot go over. If they need to go over, then I as an admin would have to go and talk with why, or like, why do you need to go over? And do we need to have a separate group for you?
Yeah, and then approve the increase.
And then the owner of the group is the mini admin, right? Like it's administering the projects inside of the group and says, well, I do have 100 gigs maximum that I can use. But by default, GitLab sets this limit to 10 gigs, for example, right? Like the group level.
Yeah.
And I, as an admin, can decide I'm going to buy more up until 100 gigs I can buy if I want to. So that would kind of make sense. So it goes top down, but it allows enough wiggle room. And that would mean that for project, right, like me as a project owner within a group, I would be getting a certain, allocation based on what is available on the group level. But then I can say, like, I'm not going to allow my project members to have more than 100 gigs. Oh, sorry, 100 megabytes or a gigabyte or something like that. But that is not our story to to figure out. Cool. I'll count on you then to create the issues that we just discussed. So this is for the backend part. I'm going to be using this issue to try to drive the UX part. And you can then start on the smaller issues, deliver them while we develop the UX, and then we can move on to the next slide.
Okay, good.
All right. Cool. Alessio, thanks.
You're welcome.
And I'll chat with you later.
Bye.